Let's talk. To my YouTube channel. Hope you had fun with the last videos. Today we're gonna be talking about my own experience with my health journey, and I'm gonna talk as much as I can, not to make this video way too long, but hope you're gonna enjoy it. So growing up as a kid, my choice of food items were like quite poor. So poor that my mom was at times compelled to force me to eat. I hated vegetables, milk, beans, and the traditional fish, stockfish. So I could eat rice, noodles in particular, like indomie, and eggs every day without being bored. In my teenage years, I learned to cook, and I discovered my own recipe for preparing egg sauce and fried rice. I'm a chef. When I visited my maternal grandmother, she introduced me to okra soup and fufu. In my language, we call it awu, and that used to be my favorite food. And then as I grew up, I left okra soup and I really enjoyed vegetable soup, or the calabash soup. They call it afang. It's really tasty. I'm serious. It's really tasty. I loved it. Over the years, I grew to like eggs prepared in every form, whether it's scrambled, poached, fried, it's omelets, or my favorite with the tomatoes and onions. My mom became frustrated when I refused to eat most of the food cooked in the house. I stayed fixated with my own personal choices, especially eating outside and, all the junks from burgers to just Chinese food and all that. It wasn't a very good choice for me, but that's what I liked. In the past few years, I started noticing some changes with my appetite to the extent that I was no longer interested in eating my so-called favorite. My mom decided to buy multivitamins, believing that my taking regular doses would improve my eating habits, but I don't know. So I'll tell you something. In many instances, I would pretend to swallow the caplets, but only to make a quick trip to the bathroom to flush it down the toilet because I hated the peels. As time went on, I found myself struggling with fatigue. Waking up in the morning to get ready for school was a fight. I hugged my pillows as if the day's assignment would end up on my bed. Sometimes my dad would be waiting to take me to school, only to find me rolling, turning, and twisting, staring aimlessly towards the ceiling. I was so tired that getting up to have a bath or shower required a shouting match with mom or dad. The weekends were worse, as routine house chores were either delayed or, in most instances, left undone. I had to be reminded several times to do my homework or assignments for school. So my parents were worried, not knowing what was going on with me and how to help me overcome whatever the problem was. They made an appointment to take me to the family doctor, the primary care physician, for a checkup. The in-office discussion and consultation raised more questions than answers, because my vital signs were totally normal, but my pulse, except for some mild headaches, it had no fever, no stomach upset. I complained about palpitation, including everything else relating to general weakness and loss of interest with personal and group activities. The doctor was not quite sure what to make of my condition with no prior history or baseline record to go by. She decided to place a rushed order for full spectrum blood work. The result of the blood test was ready within 48 hours. Curiously, everything appeared normal according to the doctor. She was on the phone explaining the result with her analysis. Just as the conversation was about to end, she said she noticed there was one item that was extremely elevated. That was my calcium. Calcium content was flagged as being unusually high. Follow-up steps, including additional tests and evaluation, began with prompt referral to a specialist, which was an endocrine doctor. So I'm gonna stop here, just not to make this video way too long. There's gonna be a part 2 of how my journey was to my surgery and how I got everything done. making me a better person today. So I hope to see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Click all the clickable things down there. And see you soon.